Well, guys, it's here. And here are harder at force. Thanks to the teachers union, they are pushing back harder with CRT, aka critical race theory. You know, the most beloved thing that you guys like and love, and you know that's completely not racist at all. So the teachers unions are really trying hard to push it back, and this is where I can call to you guys the call for action to push back against the great old teachers union. The only way we're going to be able to push this back, guys, is raising our voices, let our voices be heard, and finding and trying to find ways where we can combat this reasonably. Obviously, go to your representatives, your state representatives, and tell them that you do not want this, regardless whether they're a Democrat or not. I mean, if depending on how many people do this, it will at least do something, maybe. But you gotta at least let your voices be heard. You gotta push back. You gotta push back hard, and that's one way where we can really combat this and not have this in our schools. And in the meantime, if you do have kids, make sure they're just not going to any public schools because obviously they don't look like they care how the people's voices are. However, we'll go into the actual great article today that pretty much proves the issues that we have here. Largest teachers union says critical race theory is reasonable and appropriate for kids. Yeah, maybe appropriate for you guys to indoctrinate them, but not to actually allow them to be, in the realm of possibility of, not be indoctrinated and not have divide the country, which is what you guys are doing essentially. The country's largest teachers union has moved to undermine the left-wing talking point that critical race theory is not taught to children by voting, promote it, and arguing it is reasonable and appropriate to use CRT in social studies classes. No, it wouldn't be. Promoting it is a terrible idea because all you're going to do is make kids hate each other and you're going to divide the country even more, as it already is. The National Education Association has approved a plan to publicize critical race theory and dedicate a team of staffers to assist union members looking to fight back against anti-CRT rhetoric. This is what I'm talking about, guys. They're not even listening to the people anymore. They're not caring about you guys at all. They're really just like, well, we're just gonna go ahead anyways and do what we want to do, and whatever you guys say, it doesn't matter because we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and that really paints a picture to you. That should really paint a picture to you guys that they don't care. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and if you guys don't like it, well, fuck you. This is a huge problem that I think that people should be seeing here in this country, where the government is not letting you have your voice. And obviously, it looks like we're going to have to speak louder. New business item 39 also declares that the union opposes bans on critical race theory, and the New York Times controversial 1619 project, with roughly half the U.S. states, have already implemented. And good. That means usually half of the states is 25, and 25 states at least that would ban it, and I think all states should ban this. This is not a thing that should be going through at all in our states, let alone our country. So it should all be 100% banned. California Ethnic Studies pitch denounces excuse me, my children. California Ethnic Studies pitch denounces U.S. as parasitic system based on the invasion of white settlers. Okay, sure. Sure. Additionally, the resolution calls for the union to join with Black Lives Matter at School and Zen Education Project to call for a rally this year on October 14th, George Floyd's birthday, as the National Day of Action to teach lessons about structural racism and oppression. There is no oppression in this country. There is none. The oppression that you guys think there is not existent. Otherwise, if there was oppression and, we hated black people, there wouldn't have been a black president. There wouldn't be very wealthy black people. There wouldn't be a black senator. There wouldn't be a black mayor. So there wouldn't be anything. None of those people would be there. And they're not oppressed. In fact, these people are more wealthy and well off than the majority of you. They're reaching pretty much the 1% of people in this country that has money. So not only are they more wealthy than you, and they're definitely more privileged than you, they have the audacity to say that they have oppression. And there's structural racism. Yeah. Nice one. Publicly, through existing media, convey support for the accurate and honest teaching of social studies topics, including truthful and age-appropriate accountings of the unpleasant aspects of American history, such as slavery and the oppression and discrimination of indigenous, black, brown, and other peoples of color, as well as the continued impact this history has on our current society, which I just explained it does not. The association will further convey that in teaching these topics, it is reasonable and appropriate for curriculum to be informed by academic frameworks for understanding and interpreting the impact of the past on current society, including critical race theory. LA prep school teaches students fat, short, unattractive people are oppressed. What? What? Listen, if you're fat, you should lose weight and better yourself so that way you don't die at the age of 35 by being called a fat ass because you were eating too much. You get the picture here? Being fat is not good. Being fat is very bad. Being fat kills you. And I have no idea where short and unattractive people are oppressed. That I have no idea where this is even coming from, considering the fact that where's the oppression here for short and unattractive people? You're gonna have to explain that to me because I haven't seen that around. I'm a 5'9" size guy. I'm pretty short in terms of I'm average, but I'm short compared to all my other friends. But I don't feel impressed due to my height. But alright, and I'm attractive. I'm already a good-looking guy, so I don't have to worry about that. However, despite the approval, a note on the union's website reads, this item cannot be accomplished with current staff and resources under the proposed modified 2021 to 2022 strategic plan and budget. It would cost an additional $127,000, which is great. Now, the move comes as districts around the country and liberal pundits have attempted to fend off anti-CRT parents by telling them the curriculum is too complex for K-12 students and is only taught to students at graduate-level courses. I don't think that it's just too complex. I think that it's just fucked up to teach kids about race or anything because you're dividing or angering people. It does not help. So there's nothing too complex about it. I think kids are plenty smart enough to know. But the thing is, most kids, kindergarten and below, really don't look at racism. I mean, if you look at a kid, normally when they're growing up, they don't ever care about race. They don't even notice the difference in color usually in that aspect because inherently they're not racist. It's the upbringing that the parents bring them that leads them to normally be racist in the first place. That claim is made despite evidence that the critical race theory seminars are being offered to teachers and administrators and examples of CRT-themed topics being introduced in some classrooms. Now, this may be true, but yeah, I don't. It's terrible that it is, but it should be stopped. Obviously, conservative lawmakers have already secured bans on CRT in roughly 24 states. Oh, beautiful. With Iowa going as far as to declare it discriminatory indoctrination, which is exactly what it is. It is nothing else but that. And the topic on its own has prompted impassioned public comments at school board meetings around the country, which it should. Critics say it's a racist philosophy in and of itself that encourages stereotyping and labeling while highlighting divisiveness and anti-American rhetoric rather than unity and the virtues of the founding documents. Yeah, true. It is very anti-American rhetoric because there is no law in this country that prevents black people from doing anything or anybody from doing anything because it's literally in the law that you can't do that. So yeah, it does promote divisiveness, because when you tell people that this person's here has more than you, it makes other people become angry. So yeah, it is divisiveness. The NEA represents more than 2 million members, well over half of the 3.2 million public school teachers the U.S. Department of Education estimated were working in the country last year. The union did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment. Of course they don't, because they never want to get actually legitimately blasted by over 1 million people, because these people are actually legitimately scared. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, these things are a problem, and we need to fight back, and we need to fight back hard. It looks like 25 states, at the very least, are saying no to this and do not want CRT. So that's a good first step. We need to push back harder, and we need to push back as hard as we can to make sure this does not go into our public schools. And if your school is doing this, make sure you talk to your representatives, and make sure that you can either get those people removed from that school, because they obviously do not represent you. That's it for the video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully not as toxic.